Right then, this is Journey to Rhosgobel, my least favourite quest in the whole game, because it feels like you need to build an entire party towards it, which feels so unlike the rest of the Lord of the Rings, where you can really give it a stab with any group. It really makes you hate blinking eagles and Willador, and if you haven't got healing in your deck, I mean, this is by far one of my least favourite quests. So, horrible treacheries, irritating eagles, enemies that can't be attacked unless you have ranged or an eagle. So, I mean, my group is just going to struggle like hell with this one. But not going to lose any sleep over it, because I actually don't think this is as well designed a quest as some of the harder ones in the game. But there we go. Lorien Guide, Dunedain Watcher, Snowborn Scout, Longbeard Orc Slayer, Celebrian Stone, and the Dunedain Watcher. Now, I have had better groups, but Celebrian Stone is too good to pass up. Yeah, definitely too good to pass up. So we will keep this hand, I think. Plus, I have absolutely no expectation of this quest. So, Journey to Rhosgobel, Stage 1A, The Wounded Eagle. After a fierce conflict with a group of trolls, you come across a fallen eagle, grievously wounded and on the verge of death. Search the encounter deck for Rhosgobel and Willador, add them to the staging area with 2 damage tokens on Willador, then shuffle the encounter deck. And we might as well just read the rest of the fluff. So, 1B. The eagle's wounds cannot be tended in the wilderness, so you attempt to bring the creature to Rhosgobel, where the wisdom of Radagast the Brown may be its only hope. So if we have a quick look at Rhosgobel, it's threat X with 4 progress needed. X is the number of players in the game, while Rhosgobel is in the staging area. Willador cannot be healed. That's not going to be a problem for me, because I have no healing. Travel, the players must complete 1 stage of the quest before they can travel to Rhosgobel, and it's worth 4 victory points. And then Willador, the big eagle. He's got 1 spirit, 1 attack, 1 defense, 20 hit points, creature eagle, no attachment. The first player gains control of Willador as an ally forced at the end of each round. Willador suffers 2 damage. Willador cannot be healed by more than 5 wounds by a single effect. If Willador leaves play, the players have lost the game. So really, you need Radagast and healing and treachery prevention and all sorts of unranged and eagles and all sorts of nonsense in this deck, but I don't have those things. So, a card, HD Stroke, nay bad. 3 resources. Okay, let's start it off by spending 2 resources to give Aragorn Celebrian Stone. And that will be my lot. Right then. Oh, Willador's meant to have 2 wounds on him already. I guess he is wounded in all fairness. Right then. So, questing. Everyone's going. Theodred gives his resource to Aragorn, and Aragorn readies. 1 card. Necromancer's Gaze. Marvellous. Wound to each of them, which means that when the treachery comes out that does 2 damage to wounded characters, Eowyn's dead. Fantastic. Right then, progress. That's 4, 8, 9, minus 1 is 8. We've already finished the first stage of the quest. Stage 2A. Radagast's request. The eagle's health has grown worse, but you have at last arrived at Rhosgobel, where Radagast examines the bird. He then asks you to head out into the wilderness to find the healing plant Athelis. Meantime, any healing lore or supplies your party has at its disposal could be used to assist in comforting the eagle until you return. 12 progress required. Response. After the quest phase begins, the first player may place... Come on, focus. Thank you. Place X damage tokens on Willador to look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. Reveal and add 1 of these cards to the staging area and discard the other 2. X is the number of players in the game. Forced after a card effect heals Willador, remove that card from the game. And after we finish this location, the game then ends, and you take the number of Athelis. Each Athelis heals 5 wounds off Willador. If it's completely healed, we win. If it's not, we lose. So, not going to travel to Rhosgobel. Not going to bother travelling to Rhosgobel. So, end of the round, Willador takes 2 wounds. Throw it up by 1. I'm already choking on the tedium of this quest. Round 2. Gain a card. Snowborn Scout. Ready. Sorry. Boys and girls. Resources. Right, we're going to need some allies, methinks. I don't really care about finishing Rhosgobel, I'd have to say. So let's go cheap and easy with a Snowborn Scout. Even though I'm not fussed about Rhosgobel, I may as well put a progress on there, because otherwise it's just wasted. Right then, questing. After the quest phase begins. So I am going to put a wound on Willador. Look at the top 3 cards. Choose one to add and discard the other 2. Necromancer's Gate, Necromancer's Reach, Enchanted Stream, Exhaustion. Ugh. Well, at least that's two horrible treacheries out the way. So I'm going to add one to the staging area. Well, I may as well add one of the treacheries, because they're not going to do anything. So the Necromancer's Reach doesn't do anything. Now I wonder if I can do this, if I can wound Willador multiple times to try and find this Atlas. I'm going to go and pause and find out. Well, as far as I can tell, you can only do it once per round. I can also see where I got the Guarded and the Doomed thing wrong in the previous videos, because that seems to have been FAQ'd. It used to be that it was only when they were revealed, not when they were placed during setup. So that makes me feel a little bit better that I was reading the rulebook for the Doomed and Guarded thing, and that's where I made my mistake. So it doesn't seem I can wound him again this round, which is upsetting. Right then, so questing. Theodred, Eowyn, Aragorn, get the resource, and ready. Oh, exhaustion, deal 2 damage to each exhausted character. So Theodred's almost dead and Eowyn's dead. Remind me how much I love this quest. So that is 8, that's a 5 progress, -1 is 4 progress onto Radagast's request, although Radagast can quite frankly go and summoning himself. Right, ready, 2 wounds to Willador. Let's stack these up as a 5. Getting that, round 3. Draw a card. Northern Tracker. It's a resource to Theodred and a resource to Aragorn. Right, well, let's get another Snowborn Scout into play. Why not? And let's put a wound on Willador. 1, 2, 3. Oh, an Atlas. Oh, and another one of these exhaustions. My good gracious. It's got to be the Atlas, hasn't it? Right then. So exhaust a hero to claim this objective. If it has no encounters attached, then attach Atlas to that hero. It's guarded by swarming insects. Deal 1 damage to each character without any attachments. That's all the Snowborn Scout's dead. That's Theodred dead. That's another wound to Willador. Oh, it's completely free. Hurrah. Right. Then we now need another Atlas. We'll need 2 more Atlases to heal blinking Willador. What a pain in my arse. Right. Well, questing. Aragorn will go and ready himself. Another Atlas. Guarded by the mountains of Mirkwood. That's 3 threats in the staging area. Oh, I really should have sent Willador as well. That's 3 threats. That's 4 from Aragorn. That's 1 progress. Aragorn will exhaust to claim that Atlas. Go up to round 4. Threat up by 1. Aragorn readies. I suppose we should really travel to the mountains. Yeah, we should travel to the mountains of Mirkwood. Right, let's see what that adds. Ah, Black Forest bats. Marvellous. So they would have come out and attacked Willador defends. Oh, there's a piece of luck. No damage. End of the round, Willador takes 2 wounds. Already done my threats. Guard of the Citadel. A resource to Aragorn. I don't have to worry about running out of cards on this one. Right, play the Guard of the Citadel. I mean, the thing is, how you are supposed to do this without healing? It is impossible to do this without healing. Because, I mean, I've got 2 turns without wounding Willador to find another Athlas and claim it. So, sigh. Right. Oh, Christ. Right. Off you go then, Aragorn. Off you go, Guard of the Citadel. Forest Grove. Well, that would be really helpful if I could do the damn thing. So that's 2, that's 4, that's 5, that's 3 progress. That's Mountains and Mirkwood finished. So it's the top 5 cards in my deck. Could have Stand and Fight, Gandalf, Light in the Dark, Ancient Matham, Faramir. I'll take Stand and Fight since resources are tight, and that'll let me get those Snowborn Scouts back into play. Oh no, I forgot about Rhosgobel. Oh, bugger. So that was 1 less progress, so I don't actually have Stand and Fight. Ugh, how annoying. 2 progress. And no Eowyn to boost. Can't travel. Exhausted. Let the back forest bats through undefended on Aragorn. The attack is undefended, the damage was replaced on Willador. It's 1 more wound to Willador. Willador hits the bats back and does a wound. End of the round, Willador gains 2 wounds. Nope. Thread up by 1. Round marker up to 5. Draw a card. Ancient Matham. Aragorn readies. That readies. 1 resource to Aragorn. Aragorn will spend his resource to attack. No, I'm not low on resource. I'm not low on cards. I don't need to do that. Not going to spend his cards. Questing. Aragorn will, and this is just so pointless. Aragorn will go, as will the Guard of the Citadel. Reveal a card, Black Forest Bats. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 progress finishes the Mountains of Mirkwood. That's top 5 cards. Faramir, Guard of the Citadel, West Road Traveller, West Road Traveller, why not? Really needed, well, I was going to say needed Steward of Gondor to have any chance. Not really. That wouldn't have made much of a difference. Okay. Right then, we will travel to the Forest Grove. The bats engage. Right, undefended on Aragorn. Deal 1 damage to each character the defending character controls. 2 if the attack is undefended. Guard of the Citadel's dead. 2 wounds to Aragorn. Oh no. 3 wounds to Aragorn. And 2 wounds to Willador. Thankfully he's almost dead. Which means this farce can come to an end. Now, should I spend the resource to not have that happen? Ah, who cares? Right, and... oh, caught in a web. That wasn't a bad one to see as a treachery. To see as a shadow card, even. So that's 1 more wound to Aragorn. Willador kills the bats. End of the round. Thread up by 1. Round goes to 6. 2 wounds to Willador. So next one he's dead. Unless he already gets killed by treachery. 1 card. 1 resource to Aragorn. West Road Traveller would actually be quite bad, but why not? Let's die with a friend. West Road Traveller swaps the Forest Growth with Rhosgobel. Not that I really want that, but it doesn't really matter. Everyone's going questing. Oh, why not? We'll wound Willador again, just for the jollies. Let's take. Let's take exhaustion, because that's not going to do anything. Right, we're all going questing. Mirkwood Flock, that's 3 in there. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 4 progress. 2 onto Rhosgobel and 2 onto Radagast's request. The Mirkwood Flock engages. So Mirkwood Flock, undefended on Aragorn, kills him. Game over. Ugh, what an absolutely horrible quest. I mean, if there is one that requires more specific deck building towards it than this one, I don't know what it is. Every time I do this quest, it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I suppose it's because I don't build healing decks, and I don't like to build a deck specifically just to target one quest. Especially when this quest is, I think the difficulty is meant to be, 4 or 5? I'm so pleased that this wasn't in the core box. And instead you get Banks, instead you get Journey Down the Anduin. Even with Escape from Dol Guldur being as hard as it is, it never feels as cheap as this one. This is definitely by far my least favourite of the Lord of the Rings quests that I've done. But still an over, and the Tea Party got battered. Next up, the Hills of Emyn Will.